Parents, what happened when your child turned into a walking disaster? My sweet little Lynn used to be the type of girl to hide behind my leg when boys waved hello and blush at cartoon kisses. It was around her freshman year of high school when I first noticed a slight change in her behavior. She started to wear more makeup and fewer clothes. When confronted about it, she would always get very angry with me, shouting about how it's her body and she can do what she wants. Another grand excuse was, but everyone else is doing it, Mom. This was really hard for me to watch because I was seeing my precious sweet little daughter trying to turn into what she thought was a real woman. I always tried to explain to her that makeup and wearing fewer clothes doesn't have to mean doing what everyone else is doing, and that she should take pride in what she wants to be. Regardless, she wouldn't budge. And I'm a big believer in more relaxed parenting, so at the time, I thought maybe it would just be a phase. But our relationship slowly got worse and worse. Debates became arguments, and arguments became fights. She started bringing guys over, and while I didn't get a good look at all of them, I saw some who looked twice her age. Then one day I snapped. I was going through her room while she was at school to try and find something I knew she had taken. While searching the nightstand, I found a tiny white baggie tucked behind the lamp. I had my fair share of college days, so I knew exactly what that little baggie entailed. I had a huge confrontation with her when she got home from school. She eventually started to yell at me, and I returned the favor. It got so bad that the next morning, when I checked on her to see if she had left for school, she had vanished. 2 suitcases from my closet had gone missing. I called the police immediately. How could my sweet Lynn do this? Run away from me, the person who loves her most in the whole world. I searched the whole neighborhood, driving for hours around our small town. We found nothing, and neither did the police. After around 4 years of no contact, one of my daughter's friends' moms shared a concerning post with me on Instagram. It looked like a video of my daughter in a news report. At first, I didn't understand why she would be on the news, but then I saw the headline, "SX workers uproar in the south side of town." I couldn't believe it. There was no way my daughter had really gone down that rough path. The more I examined her in the clip, the more she looked drugged out of her mind. Tears started instantly flowing from my eyes. Here I was, sitting in my bedroom, watching my daughter's life spiral out of control, and there was nothing I could do about it. The video was from Los Angeles, California, and I lived in a small town in Texas. After a few days of living with this news, I decided that it was only right to go and look for my daughter. I booked the next available flight to Los Angeles and made my way there in less than a couple of days. The next few weeks consisted of me getting in my rental car and searching all over the south side of town, just like the news report had said. I would pick a street, drive all the way down until it seemed to end, go over a block, and repeat. I knew the chances of me seeing her were slim, but I had no other choice at that point. I knew the police were really no help, so I didn't bother contacting them. One day, a miracle happened. I was driving down a desolate, rundown neighborhood when I saw what looked like my daughter's distinct features. I got closer, rolled down my window, and shouted her name. Lynn! She turned around instantly, and there she was, my beautiful baby girl. I got out of my car and ran to her. To my surprise, she started running toward me. Mom! Mom! She cried. We hugged each other like we never had before, tears rolling down each of our faces. It was truly a moment I'll never forget. She got into my car, and after about 10 minutes of hugging and crying, I took her to get food and sit down to talk. She still looked drugged out, and I could tell she was hurting. When we were eating, I thought we would have a good conversation, catching up on things. Instead, she sat there with a dull look on her face the whole time, not really showing any emotion. I didn't know if this was the substances talking, but it really spooked me. I got her to talk a little near the end of dinner, but after we finished, I got into my car expecting her to follow. She didn't. She just stood there, staring at me. I asked her what she was doing. Didn't she want to come back with me and have a fresh start? She came closer and told me something that will haunt me for ages. I can't come, or they will find me and hurt me. That's where I drew the red line. I knew I had to get the police involved. I insisted on her coming with me, but she said they were watching and had already warned her without me noticing while we were eating. I told her to stay where she was and not to move as I called the police. While the phone was ringing, I noticed that she seemed to be looking off in the distance. She looked at something, then quickly turned back to me. She hugged me one last time and said, "I'm sorry, but I love you, Mom." Then she ran. She ran faster than I ever could. After that moment, I felt like I was drowning in my own sorrow. I now knew my daughter was in trouble, and I couldn't even protect her when she was right there in my possession. I felt like a failure as a mother, a failure as a protector, and a failure as a human. Seeing my own daughter's life spiral out of control has made me fall into my own pit of despair. I couldn't go back to Texas, not without Lynn. The thought of returning to our home, explaining to my family that I'd found Lynn only to lose her again, was unbearable. I couldn't finish the entire story in this short, full story is on my channel and linked below.